Oh wow, I finally got an interview after the 12,485th job I applied for. We are so excited you applied for our entry level job. Awesome. What all do you need me to do? I'll do it. Oh, it's just all the basics. We need you to handle customer service, handle all of our social media, be on call 24/7, run errands for the CEO's dog, occasionally be the janitor. Oh, can you clean toilets? Oh, that sounds like 5 different jobs. That's the hustle culture, baby. We wear 5 different hats here. You also need to be available on holidays. We shouldn't ask you, you should just volunteer. We'll pay you 2 extra peanuts. Okay, do I at least get health insurance? Yes, absolutely. We do take health very seriously. You'll be added to our Slack channel where Tallulah will post healing crystals and breathing exercises. We also never expect for you to have a personal life. We need you to answer emails at 2 a.m. and you should smile while being yelled at. Does your resume here say you have a master's? Yes, I do have a master's. Does that change anything? Well, it says here we do require a doctorate degree for this job, but I guess a master's will do. And how much will you be paying me an hour? Oh, you didn't want to do it for free? Your coworkers will become like family, so it'll hardly feel like work. How much will you be paying me an hour? $15. Speak up. $15. Your job starts now.
Welcome to another episode of Make Gains. Today, we're going to be talking about the job market. It is a crazy world out there, folks, and the job market is even crazier. And we're going to be hearing from some folks today. We're going to hear some conspiracy theories about the job market, and we're also going to have some practical tips on things that you can do to set yourself apart. Thank you for joining today. On Make Gains, we're all about making our lives better, both financially and personally. And we're going to be going on that adventure together. If you have never been to the channel before, I'd like to ask you, please give us a like and a subscribe. That'll really help us. We're a brand new channel. We're trying to grow, and we're trying to get big. So feel free to share this with your friends and family or anybody who you think might enjoy this type of content. Let's jump into it.
I don't think people realize how dehumanizing this job market is, especially if you're not even looking for a job right now. I've been unemployed for 6 months now, and I have applied to so many jobs. I can't even count each other I've applied to by now. I have tried everything, and people are like, oh, did you try this website? Did you try this one? Yes, I have tried everything. I'm not an idiot. I'm literally just begging for a job. I will literally do anything. Either I'm too qualified, or I'm not qualified enough, or I don't hear back. I've applied to so many jobs where I've gone to the final rounds of interviews. I have invested so much time into them, and either I don't get the job or I just get ghosted completely. I've reached out to so many people to get referrals, to share my information. I've networked like crazy. Having to say yourself every single day, many times a day, it's exhausting only to keep hearing no. I get it. I feel like at this point, I'm never gonna get a job. Like, I did everything that I was supposed to do. I went to college, I got my degree from a good school. I grinded at my last jobs. I've had so many achievements in my career development. And it's like, why can I still not get a job? It should not have to be this hard. Like, this job market is dehumanizing. It can't just be me. Like, I'm trying to stay hopeful, but like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it's a hard thing. When you are applying for a job, it takes forever. And a lot of these companies take, weeks and weeks just to start the process. So many of them, they're opening up jobs and they may never fill that job, right? Or plenty of them will open up the job and then they'll start doing interviews and then change their minds. Also, the communication process is horrible. Like, many of them aren't even letting people know their status. So you can send emails or ask for feedback and nobody's going to give you that. If you work for a great company, they will give you feedback whenever you apply for a job internally, but externally, nobody cares, right? They're going to interview you. They're going to spend some time with you, just enough to see if you're a good candidate or not.
I don't get how there are people out there that say like nobody wants to work, yet there are people like me who graduated almost 2 years ago and have submitted over 1,500 job applications. And I still don't have a job. I've been doing like side work and social media and stuff to pay the bills. But if it wasn't for that, I'd be homeless. I'd probably be homeless, completely broke. But 1,500 job applications, and I've gotten maybe 20 or so interviews, I guess. I've been to the second round a whopping 5 times in 1,500 job applications. or 1,200. I don't even know. I stopped counting after 1,000. But in 2025, I'm boggled that anyone is getting a job in this market, and people are still saying that nobody wants to work. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a master's degree, and I can't even get a job. College is a complete scam. Do not go. Save yourself the money.
So a lot of things there, 1,500 applications and only 25 interviews. That is insane. That's like 2%. I mean, no, who wants to have to fill out 100 applications and hear back from 2? So either he's applying for jobs that he's completely not qualified for, or the job market is just that hard. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at Indeed or LinkedIn, but LinkedIn will tell you how many people have applied for the job that you're looking at. And almost all of them say over 100 people have applied, which is insane. The other claim he made, which I tend to agree, is that college is a scam. And that's a bold statement, right? Because a lot of people have put a lot of money and time and effort into college. But I'll tell you, I mean, if you're spending 4 years or 8 years in school to get a degree or a master's, and people still won't even look at you, they're still asking for experience, which one is better, the degree or the experience? It's a question that we all need to ask, right? And as we're raising the next generation, it's something that we really ought to consider strongly for them. I believe there was a time when college was a necessity if you wanted to make good money. But now it really does feel like something where they're charging exorbitant rates to be able to go, first of all, right? So you're thinking 40 grand a year more. You're getting a loan for this that you're going to have to pay back. I mean, there's stories all over the place. People in debt, $100,000, $200,000 for school, which is insane. Especially if you're going to be like a doctor or surgeon or something like that. It really gets nuts real quick. And then while you're at school, they're requiring you to take classes that you don't care about, that have nothing to do with the job that you want to get. So is it really about learning, or is it about making money? I also personally have worked with folks who had master's degrees who could not form a complete sentence. And that is pathetic. I mean, think about it. You spend 6 years in school and you can't write a sentence that is structured properly. There's a problem there, right? I mean, think about this. There are thousands and thousands of people, well, hundreds of thousands of people that are all over the place that are taking college courses, expecting to be able to go get a high-paying job when really they're getting out of school and they're being looked at as someone without experience who is only suited for an entry-level job. And that's more and more common, that folks are not able to get a job because they need experience. So I'll tell you what, if you're in school, the best piece of advice I could give you is to get an internship, paid or unpaid. It doesn't matter. Just get that experience. That way, whenever you graduate, you've got experience. You've hopefully got some people who will vouch for what you're doing. And that'll help you with landing that job, because there are tons of folks who don't have any experience. They're trying to get a job. They spent their summers, going to the beach or whatever they were doing, but they're wasting their time, which is fun. Yeah, I'll give them that. But for the folks that are dedicated, they're spending their summers getting experience, they're going to be head and shoulders above those folks who didn't do that whenever it comes time to get a real job.
Question: how long did it take you to get employed post-grad? I'm entering, I think, month 7 at this point. Month 3, I was like, you know what? This is a sign from the universe. I need to travel more. I need to just live. I've been studying. I've been suffering. I need to have these moments to just thrive and YOLO for a little while. But it's getting to the point where I'm like, I have my master's degree. Why doesn't a level high school diploma only job not want me? Why does a job that only requires a high school diploma reject me? And I know it's probably because the pay range or whatever, but I'm getting exhausted. So how long did it take you guys to get employed? please let me know and give me advice and tips.
So there were people peppering her comments that said 6 months, 7 months, a year. I remember seeing 3 years post-grad to get a job. She did ask for feedback here, so I'm going to give it to her. One, you shouldn't be applying for jobs that only require a high school diploma whenever you've got a graduate degree. I mean, that is dumb. Okay, so why even apply for that job? You know you're overqualified for it. Second, she's posting this on social media, and many employers are going to pull up your social media and they're going to look at what you have to say. And I can tell you for her, she's got a lot of stuff in college about going clubbing. She's got one about getting canceled in Vegas or something like that. So I think that you also need to be careful with what you're putting out there socially. Because your future employer may see that, and that could hurt you in the job search. It's much better if they look at your personal profiles and they see that you're buttoned up and put together. That's probably what you should be putting out there if you're looking for a serious job.
I am currently headed to about my around 10th interview for the past 6 months. If I don't get this one, I really didn't even want to go to this one. I'm tired of it. It's exhausting going to interview every week and not getting a call back from any of them. And I'm applying for jobs that are really not paying anything at all. But, I need the experience, I guess. I feel like class of 2020 really got screwed out of a lot. I didn't get a prom. I barely got a graduation. Went to school. Can't find a job. Like, every year, it's been something. Wish me good luck. And once again, if you know any jobs in your city or your state, I am willing to move. I have a decent amount of experience, and I have a master's degree. So, yeah, here we go.
Master's degree, decent amount of experience, willing to move, and still not able to find a job. There's something not right. This is where we start getting into some of the conspiracy theories, right? I mean, there's a lot of folks out there saying this very same thing, and there's a lot of people questioning what's really going on. So let's jump into some of that.
I like when people say, how can you not find a job? There's a thing called Indeed. Yet, Indeed, when you apply to so many jobs, they never get back to you.
There's this really crazy theory going on right now because Indeed and all these job search websites have thousands of jobs that say they're hiring, but everyone that's applying is not getting hired. And some guy actually did a test where they had hundreds of people fill out applications and no one hired them or got a call back. And so the running theory is that they're using all people's data and selling it to bigger companies. So when you send all your information in, like your first name, your last name, where you're located, your resume, where you've been, they're taking that information and selling it to bigger companies and holding on to it because right now data is the new gold. And that's kind of scary. What do you think?
Yeah, that is kind of scary. Put that in the comments. What do you think about this? Is it bogus? Is it plausible? I definitely think it's plausible. I think there probably are better explanations than people are just data mining.
Not enough people are talking about this, but you guys do realize if you're job hunting and feeling like there are no postings and companies aren't getting back to you, it's not you. A lot of companies, especially in North America, are pausing a lot of their job postings to see what the heck is going on with the whole tariff situation. It means a lot of companies are actually pausing on hiring to see where things shake out before they commit to hiring people and budgets, etc. I don't say that to panic you at all. I just want you to be aware that if the job market and interviews feel slow, it is not you. It's a reflection of the market. I just want to keep you in the loop, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense to me, that this is just a reflection of the market and where we are right now. I mean, we do have a new presidential term. We do have a lot of things going on with tariffs. There is recently announced a 90-day pause on those, but it would make sense that a business would want to see what that's going to look like and how it's going to impact them before they invest in headcount that's going to cost them, $60,000 a year, $100,000 a year, whatever it is, especially for these post-grad degrees that potentially could be six figures or more. That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I do know that you will see. I've worked for companies before where they put a pause on hiring whenever our financial situation might feel a little fuzzy right now. So there might have been a job where they were hiring for it, and then we release our investor results, and all of a sudden it's, let's put a pause on this for a little while. see if we can improve some things, and then we'll rehire for it if we still need it in 6 months or in 3 months.
I keep seeing a lot of comments on my post and other posts that says the job market is great because everywhere is hiring. That's a lie. As the hiring manager for my work, we are required to put those now hiring signs out whether we are hiring or not. And it is because the corporations, the big huge umbrella, get a tax break whenever they're constantly hiring. Because if they are always hiring, then that means that they're never filling their hired quota, which means that they need a tax break because they can't fill their slots. I know this because we are, again, required to have the now hiring sign on our door at all times. And we haven't been hiring or had a position to hire for in like 6 to 8 months. I currently have over 300 applications of people applying because they think we're hiring, and I can't do anything with them. So when you see comments about, don't worry, there's 17 million jobs available, and if you get laid off of a job, you can get another one, and then the job market's not that bad, it's all a lie. Because the large corporations get tax cuts when they are hiring. Now, again, this is usually like larger corporations with hundreds of locations nationwide. So if you see a small town shop that's only in your store that has a now hiring sign, that is probably legitimate. But if you go into like a big fast food place or a big retail store and it says now hiring, the chances of them actually hiring are very, very slim.
I've never heard that. Could it be true? Yeah, it could be. It actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's almost like the opposite of whenever you have unemployment and they make you, certify that you've applied for at least 3 jobs, or however many it is now. Yeah. So if they're giving companies a tax break because they're hiring and can't fill the slots, that sounds criminal to me. And if that's true, that's a loophole. It needs to be closed. Someone in the government, if you're listening. But it definitely seems plausible, right? It makes a lot of sense as to why a company would want to seem like they might be doing better than they are or filling slots or whatever. So, that's an interesting one.
And I can't get a job at 50.
Yeah, they want us to be Walmart greeters. I've given up trying to find a job now in my 50s because I've been told crap like I'm overqualified. I've been told we're going to go another way. I've been told that, one time I decided they were doing something that was really super simple and they wanted to hire somebody to do the thing. And I'm like, well, all you have to do is X and Y. And the IT guy on the call was like, oh, really? I'm like, yep. And that's why I screwed myself and anybody else out of that job because it was. But so it's like, companies, they want to pay the lowest price possible. And when you're in your 50s, you want a higher price. You've worked yourself up to be what you are. And they don't want to pay that. And now with AI, they really don't want to pay it. They would rather hire somebody who knows very little, throw some AI at them, and then they can be mediocre at it. And in fact, mediocre, that's all they really want anyway. They don't need to be better. So, yeah, I'm not going to be a freaking Walmart greeter. Anyway, so that's why I decided to write my own software, get some apps in the App Store, and do that kind of stuff. And it's hard. And so I'm pulling the self-employment stuff instead of dealing with the stupid companies because screw them. So in my head, I work for Apple. That's my job. I don't officially work for Apple, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, all right, what I need to do is get my apps to work in the Apple ecosystem as best as possible and to be integrated as best as possible so that I can sell them and then Apple will maybe look at them and I'll get rewarded and somehow make.
That's not a bad way to do it, right? I mean, you're trying to get a job, you can't do it. And you can see here, this is hitting not just new grads, this is hitting folks that have a lot of experience. So they're getting it on the other end of the spectrum, which is, hey, you have too much experience. We're going to go with somebody younger. We're going to supplement their knowledge with AI and then do an okay job versus paying you six figures and doing an excellent job. But I mean, his point during that interview of, hey, you don't need to hire for this. You just need to do X, Y, Z. And he solved the problem really quickly. That's the benefit of hiring someone with experience. They're going to know how to solve your problems. They're going to get it done quickly. There's a story about a guy or a company who had some kind of big machine, $1 million machine, and they couldn't fix it. All their engineers were failing. So they brought in the guy who'd been working on it, who had recently retired. And he came in, he walked up to it, certain spot, he started tapping on it, and then he hit it with a wrench, and the thing fired back up. And they said, awesome, what do we owe you? And he said, that's $20,000. And they were like, how do you justify $20,000 for that? So he wrote out an invoice, and he said, 1 hour of work, $30, knowing where to hit the machine, $19,970, right? And I think that's a great story, a great example, because the experience will get you that in a lot of instances. So I think that's something that a lot of corporations are going to be losing, thinking this way of, hey, we have to maximize every penny that we have and, squeeze everything out of everything, especially with AI coming where they're trying to eliminate jobs and replace it with AI. Well, AI is going to be able to do a lot of things really well, but I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with AI or chatted with AI. It's real easy to throw it off at some point. Like it'll follow the trail of thought for a little while, but then it starts to trail off. And I do think that's going to get better and better and better. And, eventually that won't be a problem. But right now it's definitely a problem, which is why many companies can't use it.
All right, quick rant. This is going to be about the job market, so lock in. So I just graduated from Yale University, an Ivy League here in America, and I still don't have a job. This might be shocking to many, but the job market is just piped right now. I really don't understand how people are finding full-time jobs. I really don't get it. Throughout the school year, I was actually working some different jobs, doing some brand ambassadorships and UGC creation positions for SideShift, but I need a full-time job. The clock's ticking right now. I don't know if this is a rant or a cry for help, but if anyone can help me find a job, or if SideShift, if you're listening, if you're offering full-time jobs, please reach out. I need something, please.
That's tough. Black Yale grad can't land a job after 300 applications. It's a tough world we live in, but also this world we live in is kind of deceptive sometimes. Okay. And I do want always you guys to remember to take things that you hear with a grain of salt, especially when you're on social media. And this next video will show you why.
All right, this is a pretty serious video, but I'm about to graduate from Harvard, have over a 3.5 GPA, studying economics, and I still don't have a job. I swear I've applied to over 200 jobs, and I'm just getting no luck. This is ridiculous. I know everyone's saying the job market's horrible right now, but this is just ridiculous. I don't know what to do. I've done everything right, got good grades in high school, about to graduate college, over 3.5 GPA, good and steady major, but it seems like it's still not enough. If anyone's had luck finding a job, let me know. Let me know where you found the job, how you got the job, because I'm really struggling. I really need a full-time job. I'm either just going to be a server for the rest of my life or just keep doing side hustles. So, I don't know.
So either both those guys have twin brothers who are also Ivy Leaguers, or this guy's side hustle is grifting on TikTok. I don't know. I assume the latter, but I thought that was funny because I originally I had this saved from my video and then saw this other one. It's a different username, but clearly the same guy. So anyway, we're going to leave on that. I hope you guys all, if you're looking for a job, remember, do your due diligence. I had a good friend who was a data science engineer. He was looking for a job, and the discipline that he showed in looking for a job was really impressive to me. And what he told me was you need to treat your job search like it's a full-time job. So he was working a 40-hour week. He was starting in the morning. He was skilling up, so he was doing things to improve his position in job interviews. He was also researching companies and spending lots and lots of time, not just scrolling through Indeed or whatever it was and click and apply now, right? It was actually researching companies, trying to figure out what they're about, really composing cover letters that speak to what he's learned and his skill set. And I think that that's something that you can do too if you're currently looking for a job, and that I think that'll help you tremendously. Other thing is position yourself well amongst everybody else, right? And one of the things that you can do, and I always tell people, some of the old school ways of getting a job can still work today. So one of the earlier videos we watched, the girl mentioned that she was networking and that kind of thing. I think networking is super important. They say that you're much more likely to find a job if you know someone who works for the company. But even beyond that, once you apply for a job, I think picking up the phone and calling the HR person, especially if you can look on LinkedIn and find out who it is, if you can get that person on the phone and just say, "Hi, my name is Adam Gaines, and I'm applying for your job. I put in the application yesterday, and today I just wanted to reach out to let you know that I'm enthusiastic about this position, and I'd love for you to review it and give me an opportunity to interview with you. Thank you so much just for taking the time to answer my phone call today." And doing things as simple as that show initiative are going to set you apart. Like you might feel like, oh, I'm annoying the person. No, you're not. So as somebody who's worked in corporate America, it never hurts. And I'm never annoyed by someone who's taken extra initiative. It actually looks good. So I would say to do that. There's also nothing wrong with calling the hiring manager if you can get that. Because if you can get FaceTime with them when no one else has, then it is going to set you apart, especially if you really shine in the conversation. I would say practice the conversation and know what you're going to say when you call. But if you have your elevator speech prepared, you can give them just a 20-second version of why you. It will set you apart, and they will remember that. And I do think you'll find a job much faster. But also, in this day and age, I do think that there are lots of opportunities for doing your own thing. So the last guy talked about developing his app. I think that's a wonderful way to do things. If you're looking for a job, you can't find anything, start your own business. There are so many opportunities right now with AI that I think that just doing some Google searches and watching some YouTube videos could get you some ideas on how you could leverage these new tools to support businesses or individuals or whatever. Okay. And then there's also service-based businesses. And I've always told young folks that I know, buy a pressure washer. And like if you're in high school and you're needing a job, buy a pressure washer and wash all your neighbors' driveways for $100. Okay. It's a steal for them. It gives you, a way better hourly rate than you'd get working at Chick-fil-A or, whatever place is hiring high school students. And it lets you be in control of your time. So the harder you work, the more money you make. And I think that's always a really great opportunity. And then once you start doing better, you can hire one of your buddies for $15 an hour, which is probably the same as what they'd make if they got a job at Home Depot or Chick-fil-A or whatever. And then now you have the economies of scale going on. You can focus on selling. You've got one, maybe two people that are doing driveways. All you have invested in it is your time and a couple $100 for a pressure washer. I think it's a great idea, but there's 100 different ideas that do the exact same thing. So between now and next time I see you guys, make gains. I hope that if this is your first time here that you will like and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching to the end.